Hey friends, welcome back to Let's Talk Roleplay, a podcast centered around roleplay discussion and generally how to be a more supportive and thoughtful role player for your community. Hope you guys are doing all right out there. You loved. We're your host. I'm Rez from Aliens for Humans. That over there is Mr. Conniption, right here on Twitch. I noticed there's a lot of subscribers and incoming. Cade, thank you so much for all those free subs. I think everybody just got them. Holla if you hear me.
Big Papa
Mr.
Pump.
Big Papa Pump, I love it. That's wrestling reference right off the bat. Come on. How you doing, Mr. Conniption?
I'm doing good, man. It's hump day. We're over halfway there.
Halfway there.
Living on a prayer.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Today's topic is going to be a super important one. It's near and dear to my heart. It's at the core of everything you do in role play, and that's, you ready? I'll figure out where it is eventually.
Listening and reacting.
Listening and reacting. Who would have guessed that's at the core of everything you do in roleplay? We're going to break down what that is, how we can use it to add it to our tool belt as a role player. We're going to add it to our tool belt. Listening and reacting is literally at the base of everything you're doing into the world. Even if no one is around you, you're listening to the GTA world or whatever video game you're in, and you're reacting and responding in kind. And that's how we get the most fun out of things, right? And we're going to go deep into that topic, but we can't do it alone. We need you guys at home. I see you out there, Sight Gaming. Oh, what's up, buddy? I haven't seen you in a while. Officer D. Jones. Hammer Gaming. What? Jim 003. What's up, guys? Our special guest is...
That's Brock.
Is that Brock?
That is Brock.
My man Brock. You guys are gonna be even more hyped because you already know her. You love her. Are we ready? Are we ready to do the breakdown? Producers? Is she ready? She's ready.
Yeah.
I think she's ready.
Did you get the green room?
Yeah. We'll knock the green room. Got it. Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna do it now. Ladies and gentlemen, she's a two-time All-Canadian Roleplay Champion of the Year. A two-time Parent of the Year award winner and a one-time Parent of the Award loser. It's written here. I'm just reading it. She joins us all the way from West Coast, British Columbia. She's currently holds the best batting average in her local softball beer league. That's true, by the way. You can look up those deets. She's known as one of the best listeners and reactors in the entire city. And my favorite thing of all, and I think everybody's favorite thing of all, she's an incredible human being. She's the one. She's the only. Sylvie! People are cheering it on.
Ooh.
I could hear it. It makes me feel so loved. Thank you so much. I feel like I should have a speech.
Oh my gosh, I can see the emotion in your face. It's
Ding,
so
ding,
good.
ding, ding,
Wow.
ding.
What an incredibly good reaction to that intro. Welcome, Sylvie.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. It's now I'm live and this is tough.
It's just them. It's okay.
It's just your friends.
It's just your friends. It's all friends. Yeah, right?
It's all friends here.
Somebody says, Ducky.
Paid. Mwah.
All right, so we kind of have like a little tradition to start here, Sylvie. We gave you a little break right off the bat, but no more breaks.
Okay.
No more time.
All right.
Because it's time for Mr. Conniptions. Do you have him ready, Mr. Conniption?
You do this to me every time. Hold on.
Mr. Conniptions, rapid fire question round. Here we go.
Hold on. I need a longer timer. All right. What is your hidden talent?
Hidden talent? Do we really want to know that answer? I love the faces you two made for that. My hidden talent. Oh my goodness. I'm a great baseballer.
So that's right, because you have a great batting average. So you
great batting average.
And in beer softball, it's not just about home runs, right? It's about base hits and things like that.
It's about catching the balls. It's about how many beers you could drink before getting out there and not falling on the field.
I wouldn't have guessed. I wouldn't have guessed. And awesome. I love that you're such a good role player that you have like role player like hang-arounds. It's cool. Who's your friend here?
This is my daughter. Can you say hi, Audrey?
Oh, really?
Hi.
Baby, I love it.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit earlier. She's already a fantastic role player.
Yeah.
It was very much well decided. Well, just because Audrey's here though doesn't mean we can let you
Yeah, you hear
settle
that?
here. We gotta hit you with these questions. Favorite pizza?
What I'm eating right now, pepperoni stuffed crust.
Oh, yeah, stuffed crust. You liked it too.
If
All
you
right,
if your pet could talk, what would they say about you?
My pet could talk. Probably that I am the messiest person alive.
Oh man. Well, in that case, dishes, yay or nay?
Oh, my grandmother actually told me to marry someone who does dishes, and I did.
That's just smart. You hear that out there? We're already getting juicy beats. Add that to your tool belt, ladies and gentlemen who's single out there. Take it from grandma, marry someone who doesn't mind doing the dishes, and you're good. I'm actually going to write that down myself. Mr. Gleason, hit her with another one.
What is your most strongly held belief? Ooh, that's deep.
Oh,
Are you
very deep.
Are you writing these or are you reading them from Google?
He's
I
totally
wrote
reading them
these.
from
I totally
Google.
wrote these.
You come on. Like,
What?
my most strongly sorry, could you repeat the question, please?
fast food.
Hold on. Google moved on me.
Google.
Fast food wise, what's your most strongest belief as far as who has the best fast food in the planet?
That is
Oh, but
totally
fast
not what
food.
I asked, but that's okay.
I'm gonna say A&W. I love A&W.
Right, so is A&W big in West Coast British Columbia?
Yes, and I used to work there, and I'm okay with their food handling practices.
Oh, all right. I like it. While I'm on it, Mr. Conniption, what's your favorite out to eat restaurant?
I'm a big steak fan, so I'm gonna go with Texas Roadhouse.
Okay, so you guys told me fast food,
Fast
not
food,
any
fast
type of
Oh,
food.
okay, all right.
That's good
Fast food.
listening. Yeah,
I'm busy writing questions. Okay.
well, you're doing a great job. I was just pointing out how great of a job she did at listening. What was your fast food? I gotta know.
Sweetheart, can you go
Me?
watch?
Fast food? Oof. Ooh. I'm gonna go. Well, it used to be Taco Bell, but or Arby's. I'm thinking Arby's.
Really?
Hit me up, Arby's.
Oh my gosh, I would love. I don't think I've ever met a human being, and I'm not even joking about this. I don't think I've ever met a human in existence who said they even eat at Arby's, let alone is their favorite restaurant. Anybody else? Have you ever had an Arby's, Sylvie?
Yes, we have one here. One.
Mr. Conniption, are you some kind of robot? What is this?
Look, hold on. Look in chat. We got one. Arby's is my favorite. Arby's is the best. Oh, suck it, Rez.
You've never had Arby's in your life.
Roast beefs are good. Look, the verdict is in.
Roast beefs are good. No, roast beefs are good. Could have been about anything.
I was gonna say,
We don't know.
is it real roast beef though? Like I'm not like I like Arby's. Like I will eat it as one of the Arby's roast beef sandwiches with that cheese sauce. Okay.
Let's just not
but-
ruin the illusion, okay?
I've never heard this. I feel like now I can go eat there maybe because if other people are eating there, maybe I can.
People
Arby's
actually eat there?
I'm so surprised that people eat at Arby's. Sorry, I'm a bit lost right now. So, guys, now that we got the quick fire questions out of the way and we've decided that Arby's is a food that we can eat at, we're going to talk to Sylvie about how they got into role play, what their experience was when they first got in, maybe a little bit about their characters, and then we're going to dive deep on that topic. I really got to do some mouth exercises before the show, Mr. Conniption. You're going to have to show me what you do with yours.
Oh.
A-I-O.
A-I-O-U.
I owe you money.
Actually, I just talk like Arlo. I owe you money.
I owe you
Well, hello
money.
there.
All right. So, guys, just so you know kind of how the process works here on the show, we are editing this. We're doing it in real time, but we're also editing it for post or however the verbiage is, so we can chop it together and stuff like that. So if it sounds like we're like going in between segments, it's because we are, baby. So the next segment being, Sylvie, how'd you get into role play?
Through McCarthy, actually, through my husband. He was playing, and I was like, what the heck is this? Like, seriously, what are you doing? This is ridiculous. I can't believe you're doing this. Oh my God. And he'd be sitting there playing, and I'd be like sleeping on the couch or watching TV. And I'm like, seriously, dude? I am so I'm kind of jealous because we're not going out anywhere. We couldn't because it was the pandemic, and I, all of my friends live an hour away because we moved out of the city. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? And I'm like, that's it. I am getting in there. Like, screw you. This is I'm gonna get in this. And we made a pact. We weren't to cross paths. He's like, I don't want to deal with you. And I'm like, well, I don't want to deal with you either.
That's so cool. That's great. So you guys decided not to cross paths at all, right? Until, obviously you do sometimes, but
We do sometimes. Like, I think the only time, like, he kind of helped me like get set up, and then he was like, Ginger, here, have fun. Uh, and then him and Larry would work on my car at 68 Customs, and then I think him and Larry also pulled me over for speeding and cutting them off getting onto the highway. And I'm so sorry, officer. I didn't see you there, and I'm trying to get somewhere, and so they let me off with a warning.
To pull the old Southern Belle. I do declare.
I'm so sorry.
My word, I have no idea how fast I was going.
Well, I might let you slide, madam, if you let me take you for a walk in that park right there. Is that how that went or no?
That was a pretty good Arlo impression.
Yeah. Arlo, you would not do something like that. Oh
No,
my goodness.
No.
You wouldn't take a lady on a walk? Wouldn't break a law like that. Got it.
No, I meant taking a lady on a walk.
Yeah, what kind of walk are we talking about here?
A respect walk. So, to to catch everybody up, McCarthy, who Sylvia is talking about, also plays in the same roleplay community that we all play in. He's also a streamer, has a bunch of great characters. So it was very interesting to find out as a role player that there was other couples in here that were role playing together. It made me feel a lot more comfortable as somebody who I would love to bring my spouse in to come and role play with me and my friends and things like that. And knowing that there's a lot of in the staff and in the like kind of foundation, and I would consider Sylvia a foundational character for next chapter, that it's great because there's just like a nice kind of under family tone of, you see Sylvie, she has her daughter around her, love it. Conniption has kids, I have kids, like it just feels like a stronger foundation to build RP on, and I really appreciate that you guys are coming in, and both you and your husband have definitely inspired me to RP more. How did you end up becoming, when I first met you, you're obviously very talkative. You have no problem with your gift of gab. You're very good with social ball, but is what me and Kate Davina calls it, the hot potato of being social. You're very good at like, hey, there's a group of people. I want everybody to have a chance to speak because that's kind of how a social thing should happen, right? So you're very good at like divvying out the conversation. Does that make sense? Would that be a good way to explain you? Where do you think that comes from as a human being?
A lot of just social skills. Actually, I think that my grandparents taught me, was when you're in a group of people, and you're introducing each other, you always tell a piece of information that you know about someone, and they're with their name, and then you introduce the other person with a piece of information that they might find interesting and their name. And so you get everyone talking, and then you just go back and forth and do that. And that actually came from my grandparents.
Your grandparents were on top of it sounds like to me. That's a very polite way of introducing people into conversation, so that's a good way for people to role play. There's a lot of kindness happening out there in the city, and people are usually really good about that. That thing that you said about giving a piece of information about them is a really good way to start a conversation, right? It's like, hey, this is Sylvie, she's all the way from Canada, isn't that awesome? And it's like, oh, then we get to discuss a little bit of Canada, you get a little connect a little bit. Mr. Conniption, you're like the king of politeness. That's in the politeness book, right?
Is I can put it in there.
We'll
Is it
crown
not
you.
in there? That definitely seems like a polite thing to do as a human being, right?
Sure.
Very much so.
We'll just put it in there. No, I assume you're referring to what I told you the other day about not feeling like I could interject, or I assume that's what you're referring to.
Oh no, I'm literally just talking about
You're
her.
just
Oh
I'm
God.
just trying. I'm throwing. We're playing hot potato. I'm throwing you the ball, baby.
Oh, shit.
or is it a potato or a ball? Because I'm
well, whatever
confused
you want it
now.
to be. Whatever you want it to be, baby. Sylvie. So as far as you, like now you're this Sylvie character, and now you're kind of known around the city. How did that end up happening? Just from playing with a lot of different people. I kind of feel like people go to you as a character to kind of like, let's get Sylvie's take kind of thing. Like people kind of lean in on you as a character. How did that happen? How did you end up becoming that kind of person?
Um, I actually don't know. I think a lot of it was through Bo, because Bo and Sylvie did date at the beginning, and then just getting introduced that way, and then branching out as my own person, almost, and like talking with people, making friends with people, and just being a shoulder to listen, or like to cry on, to listen, to uh, talk to, just because you needed someone to vent to and you didn't know who. And I've always taken on that role. It's weird. So
And it really ties into today's topic because it's a lot about listening, right? A lot of what you just said there is I'm a good ear. People, I can listen to people, and then how you're reacting in kind probably helps them develop their story a little bit more. It also helps them kind of figure out whatever problem is happening in that situation. I know as far as like uh, what you're doing in the city right now, aren't you kind of in the direction of becoming a lawyer?
I'm trying. Got to take my bar exam.
Okay, cool.
You got
So that's
this.
something you got this. That's something your character's working on, right? Why?
Very
Why?
much so.
It's super important, I think, to have a lawyer in the community because again, it just creates further RP. People are thinking like one crime ahead rather than like I want to do 10 crimes tonight, which slows down RP, which can actually do some relationship building, and things can actually happen. And you're a
Mhm.
huge part of that, so I'm excited for that to happen one day.
So am I.
Yeah, I think the whole the courtroom RP and everything it's real exciting because like you were saying, it extends everything. It continues. It doesn't just stop at the police station. It continues on after that, and I think it also will um, generate a more of a fear of breaking the law, or because right now it's just break the law, you go do your time and you're out. But then if you commit a major crime, now you've got to sit through trial, you got to work with an attorney, and so it's not only is it extending RP, but it's also thinning the masses of people that might just want to slam one right after another.
Yeah. And it's something that does, you're right, slow down everything, because that's where that RP would happen, and that more in-depth RP would happen was when you slow things down.
Exactly. Dean, I know you're out there. You're doing detective work with somebody role playing like Sylvie does, gathering all this information, working on between characters and things to establish like logistical stuff within the city with stories and things like that. Is gonna help push Dean and Brock's RP even further because they'll be able to do stuff. While we're on the topic, let's start getting into this listening and reacting topic of the day. The first thing we got to do is break down what is listening and reacting when it comes to role play. So we're just going to kind of create an open discussion here. I want to hear your opinions in chat, Mr. Conniption and Sylvie. Hopefully we can all share ours. We'll do listening first, and then we'll go to reacting, and then we'll play a little game, and then we'll continue discussion from there. When it comes to listening, um, what is listening when it comes to role play? Let's jam on that for a second. Either of you guys is fine.
What is listening? It's just taking in your surroundings and reacting appropriately, or coming up with what you deem as the correct course of action. Just taking into account your surroundings and everything that's going on. Really, I mean, Even so much as, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day about if there's a car accident right behind you, you hear that car accident, you're going to turn around and you're going to say, "Oh my gosh, I hope they're okay." Um, I just think it, taking the whole world around you in.
And listening to everything that's
Me
happening
too.
in the moment. Right.
Yeah,
That's good.
like it. As an example, I was decorating my office on just down from MRPD the other day, and I heard a huge explosion. And instead of just going, "Oh, there was an explosion," I went out and I ran out and I saw Jack Jackson and Stephanie out there, and they were like, "That dude's car just blew up," and oh my gosh! And I'm like, "Yeah," because when I hear say sirens run by my house, I go to the window, see what's up. I go if I see something outside, if I hear someone outside, if I hear a rustling in the bushes behind my house, I want to check it out. Usually it's a raccoon. Once it was a bear. That kind of scared me. But but yeah, it's you don't just sit there and ignore it in real life. Why would you sit there and ignore it in role play?
Right, exactly. That's good. And then it's also like a gift, right? Listening is big for not just everything that's happening in the world, right? Explosions and things like that. That's perfect. That's definitely things you should be listening to and reacting to in the moment for those kind of things. And then verbally, when we're discussing things with people, listening to what they're saying and then reacting to the last thing said, right? When someone's talking to you, what are they actually saying, right? Are you listening, or are you just waiting for your turn to talk? Are you thinking about something else going on in the world? Are you talking to your chat? Are you actually listening to what Sylvie's character is telling you right now? And that's the easiest way to center your role play. If you're like, I'm lost, I don't know what to do, whatever, it's all right in front of you. It's Sylvie sitting in her office, hearing an explosion and going to see what it is, because that's what's happening in that moment. It's not like, wonder what that explosion was. It's like, no, there are P's out there happening and you're missing it because you're in here doing your stuff or whatever, right? Um,
Mhm.
um, Anybody else have any other things on how what exactly listening is? Not the reacting part yet, just the listening. What other kind of stuff?
Oh, excuse,
What?
excuse me. Not
What
the
happened?
reacting part yet. Calm down.
I'm
Oh
sorry.
no,
I have huge
no.
facial expressions, okay? This is what makes it so hard RPing through a computer is because my facial expressions happen and nobody sees them.
Well, and I'll say this: we can hear it in your voice, right? We'll just start going into reacting right now since we're already discussing it, right? It's perfect. It's perfect. I bet having a conversation with you in real life is as obviously everybody can see right now. You do have great reactions, and as humans, it makes us feel good when people have good reactions. I can usually tell their intent. In video games, we don't have that option. We're just a blank slate, right? So if I don't hear a tone of voice or some kind of reaction from you verbally, by the tone of voice you're having, by how your character is moving, maybe what you're saying to me, then how do I know you're reacting to that situation in the moment, right? Um, 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 so that takes me to this thing. Let's do an exercise real quick. All right. It's called over under. And what we're going to do is we're going to take words, we're going to take scenarios, and if you guys have them, you can just kind of shout them out. Little things, and we're going to overact or we're going to underact to them. So overact or underreact to them. Really simple. I'll start it out. I'm just going to hand it to you, and I want you to react in character. All right, Mr. Conniption, you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, wow. We're getting Arlo. I love it. Okay. You can react as yourself if you want, or in character. I just mean like react like we're in the game. Um, uh, you are driving down the street and you slam into a pole. What's your reaction? Uh, Go ahead.
Oh, good lord, who put that pole there? That wasn't there yesterday.
Right. Okay. Good reaction, Sylvie. Over or under react to smashing into a pole.
Zen. All right.
Zen.
Okay.
Usually it's an oops, I didn't mean to do that.
Right. All right. Cool. Yeah. Over or under react to this. I'm gonna hand. Here's a piece of gum, Mr. Conniption.
Oh, what flavor is it?
Okay. So
I see. All right, I got you. You got
gotcha. Go ahead.
hand me a piece of gum. Oh my god, this is my favorite gum ever.
Overreacting, right? Like freaking out about it. Cool. Sylvie, here's a piece of gum.
Thanks for the gum.
Right?
I
She's
appreciate
underreacting.
it.
Underappreciated, right? Okay, cool. We're all standing in a room together. There's a person talking in front of us. Some guy shoots them in the chest 3 times. Sylvie, over or underreact to this?
Fuck.
I'm hearing bits and pieces. I can't hear anything.
Oh, dude, shit. I said, oh, dear God, for fuck's sakes.
Perfect. Mr. Knipshin, somebody just got snatched in front of you, put into the back of the seat. Your best friend just got snatched and put in the trunk of a car, and they're driving off. What's your reaction?
Oh, it's probably one of his friends. He'll be all right.
Right. Just kind of like, meh, whatever. So that's underreacting to the situation, right? So I find a lot of times, and let's discuss ways how we can, as role players, react properly in the moment. If you're in the world and something is happening in the world, Mr. Knipshin likes to use the term desensitized. People become desensitized to the game that we're in because we're in a video game, right? But we're not just in a game here. We role play. This is just what we're using to facilitate our role play. And you've agreed to the rules in the role play world, so we need to kind of abide by them. And by abide by them, I mean reacting to everything that's happening around you. Your friend gets hit by a car, don't laugh and be like, well, I mean, sometimes it's funny, so you can't help it, right? But in character, Sylvie, if your friend got hit by a car, even though you thought it was funny, how would you react in the moment?
Sorry. I'm just imagining one of them getting hit by a car.
Wait, which one?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Actually, yes.
And I don't tell. Oh, okay. One sec. I'm turning off the iPad. There we go. Hit by a car. All right. Visualize.
Now I can see your face, so I'm gonna get some really good reactions.
Yes, you are. Oh my gosh. So this is what 2 years of theater school did to me, you know? Oh my gosh. Are you all right? Is anything hurt? Do you need help? Should I call 911? Really? Should I?
Exactly. You can hear the tone of voice. She's breathing heavy. She's like, oh my God. Her verbiage has changed. She's like, oh, we got to do something. She's allowed the moment to exist in the moment. Do you have to quote unquote ruin what's going on in your moment? Like, oh, we gotta go to the hospital again. No.
I had laughed when I was taking them to the hospital because joking in a stressful situation. I'd be like, hey, so this is only the 4th time today.
Exactly.
Last week.
Exactly. And still reacting in that moment and still having fun with it and things like that, but still giving the moment for what it is. Your friend got hit by a freaking car. React to that. That's what's happening right now, right? Mr. Knipshin, somebody came up to Arlo, and I want you to underreact to this. Somebody is coming to the police station, and you're standing there, and they lit it on fire in front of you.
Can somebody go get me a cup of water? We got a little bit of a problem here.
See, underreaction, right? It definitely probably makes the guy who set the fire like, really? That's how he's gonna act right now?
Just a cup?
Fits ourselves laughing.
Right. And the RP never got to take off, right? Because somebody on one side or the other is not really holding their end of the bargain, which is, listening and reacting. Listening by seeing the fire and seeing the guy explode it, right? And not just listening with your ears, listening with your eyes too, right? Seeing all these things and then reacting to the moment will create a bigger scene. Oh my God, the guy's lighting the thing on fire. Put your hands up. He starts running. You start chasing. A scene develops. But if Arlo never responds and just says, oh man, I need a cup of water, it'll get a big laugh. But in the moment, it just shits on the RP, right? So think about that when things are happening out in the world and you choose not to react to them, or you see someone else not react to them, overreact, right? Make it a bigger deal than it is and see what happens. Watch it infect other people and them start to treat it real too. Sylvie, and go ahead, Mr.
Oh, look, somebody lit a fire again.
Again.
True. Somebody lit a fire again.
What if you robbed a bank and the cops never just rolled up with no lights on and were kind of chill about it? Sylvie, can you give me a chill cop? I just robbed a bank. and I'm standing outside with my money on my back.
Awesome. Hey, dude, what's
Hey,
up?
I'm
Like,
stealing
what's
money from
happening?
this bank. I'm taking this
Oh,
money.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You want to give it back?
Mm, no.
Oh, well, that kind of sucks. Um, can I ask nicely?
No. See, the scene doesn't really like nothing's happening. I mean, that does like sound really funny, and it's funny because we're doing it now. But the scene doesn't have a chance to take off. We are listening to each other and reacting, but we're not reacting to create more drama or good drama, right? Not outside of game drama, in world drama. We're not reacting in the moment to give it the flair and the juice it needs to be a moment, right? Um, Sylvia or Mr. Conniption, do you have any ideas or any scenarios you can think of right now that you want to try? And we'll over or under react. I want to over and under react to something.
Oh my goodness.
Somebody said, give that lady an Oscar. She's talking about you.
I know. That's why I'm. I don't know if you can see me.
It's a
I'm
couple
above your
seconds.
head.
Oh, that's
Thank you. Thank you. I love you. All from the bottom of my heart.
And the award goes to. She was giving the speech before the award went.
Yeah, I totally did. I was assuming.
It goes to someone else.
There's no way that's mine.
Kanye that.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Pull that out of Taylor Swift's hands.
I'm gonna let you finish. But Sylvie was the best role player of all time.
Taylor Swift's like, you got a good point. You got a good point. All right, guys, thanks so much. We'll see you later. No reaction.
Well, you're not wrong. Can I write a song about you?
Doesn't plan 2 more albums, make a bunch of money off of that. Come on. She had a super huge heel turn. Okay, let's get back to listening and reacting and why it's important between our RP. Can you guys think of any scenarios that have happened while you were in them that could have been if the reactions could have went differently, could have changed the scenario? I saw somebody in chat saying that's happened to me before.
Sharky just said Ferris wheel just blows up. How do you react?
Yeah, Ferris wheel just explodes. If I'm Ruby, I'm diving into the water. I'm freaking out. I'm calling the cops. I'm running down the thing, trying to get people away from the explosions. I'm like,
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to create a moment out of it, I would say. What about you guys?
I think Sylvie would probably be doing the same thing, trying to get people away, like move back, everyone away, not getting too close because she's hesitant about that sort of thing. And
But explosions? Yeah, I'm hesitant about explosions too.
Well, her house has been set on fire, so.
Oh man, who's doing this to you out there?
People hate me.
I don't believe that's true at all. It's like who says kaboom. Mr. Conniption, as far as being a Leo out there, anything popping up as far as reactions go, would it be helpful if certain situations that Leos could be more reactive in the scenario, or Crims in that manner, I guess? Sylvie, are you a Crim?
No.
She lying. Go ahead, Mr. Conniption.
I in the middle,
Riding that line.
Riding that line, baby.
So I mean, it's good that Sharky brought up the Ferris wheel thing. I think that the Leos reacted accordingly to that. There were a lot of.
Actually.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't know that it blew up. It really did blow up.
Well, yeah, apparently it ended up in the water. I didn't see it happen, but so I think the Leos reacted really well to that. There were some people that were a little confused as to why they were leaving, and maybe even upset as to why they had to leave. But if you think about it in a real world scenario, if the Ferris wheel just exploded and flew out into the water, nobody's staying on that pier. Everybody would be GTFO, whether it be because you ran away screaming or because law enforcement came in and said, hey, you need to get out. It's not safe. You need to get out of here.
Right. And unless you're a hot dog stand guy, you're
it doesn't listen. Yeah. And you're mute, a mute hot dog vendor.
those hot dog guys don't listen for
Hey
that.
man, they got like hearts of steel. They're the ones that put the fire out.
They're just such good guys. Sylvia, as far as situations go for you, I watched you get kidnapped once, and I saw a great scene play out. You're very good at listening and responding to people, like you were saying, and I think that's a big reason why people come to you. Arlo's another player who has that same thing. He's constantly on the phone because people are talking to him because they know he'll react accordingly to whatever scenario is happening, furthering role play, right? If we don't react, we get zero role play out of it. If we do react, then we continue this role play. And both you guys are like prime examples.
Oh my god.
He's prime examples of why or what how you can get great RP out of listening and reacting.
Is this where I'm supposed to speak?
No, for whatever reason, me and Michigan Ipton, we're working on it. There's this like ebb and flow thing. It'll come in.
I just got off the phone. I had a phone call.
Which was kind of rude because you're in a meeting right now.
Yeah. Well, Arlo does it all the time. He'll walk away mid-conversation.
I know. I'm trying to have a conversation with Arlo, and he's like, "Oh, excuse me for a minute." I'm like, "For fuck's sakes, it's been a week. I've been trying to talk to you for a week."
Because if I don't answer, it's almost a given that I'm going to get at least 3 more back-to-back calls from the same person. Like, pick up your phone.
That's why I just text you, and I'm like, "Hey, I know you're busy. Call me back when you get a chance." Text messages are a thing,
all right. I'm
people.
ready. Hit me with it. Hit me with it. I'm ready. Let's go.
Hit you with what? I don't have anything. Do you have something?
We're working on it, right? I thought you pitched me a softball there, and I didn't catch it.
You're supposed to hit that out of the park. Come on.
I don't think you.
I waffled.
Thank you. We're not playing pitch and catch here.
We ain't playing no more
weird.
hot potato.
I'm pitching the ball to you, and you're knocking it out of the park, and you're catching it and throwing it back to the pitcher. Okay.
You score runs, Arlo.
I live by a special set of rules.
So I really want to break down the listening and reacting part so we can have stuff to kind of pull from and make things later for. As far as listening and reacting go, in what ways can we as role players use those tools to better our RP, right? What are some things that we can talk about right now? I'll go first. You guys can think about it. And then in a second, Arlo, I'm going to pitch it to you, all right? You knock it out of the park. So as far as listening and responding goes, when you're out there and you find yourself in any situation, whatever's happening in that moment, if you're listening and responding into that moment, you'll get the most out of RP you'll get more out of the RP than anybody else in that thing, right? Because you're listening and responding to everything that's happening. So when we say listening, we literally mean everything. If I'm standing in a room and it's a bathroom, I'm listening to what's going on in the bathroom. I'm listening to other people in the toilets. I'm listening to people. See, there's one. I heard one. I'm listening to people washing their hands. I'm listening to the door open and close. Right? I'm listening to the whispers and conversations as these two people are having in the stalls.
Do you believe how bad that stinks?
Right? That's the moment that's happening right there. Live it up. Don't be on your phone. Don't be doing other things. Soak in what's happening right there, and you'll make the most out of that little bathroom scene that you're having. I don't know why we were in the bathroom, but really easy to follow this one. Arlo, got any thoughts on listening and reacting? Woof.
It depends. Are we still in the bathroom?
Holy shit!
Literally shit.
So we're in a church bathroom then. Is that what I'm getting here?
In what ways do you daily use listening and reacting to get the more out of your RP?
To me?
Yes.
You have to specify these things.
Yeah,
I wasn't ready.
Here.
I wasn't ready. He looks so frustrated with me. I think his head's about to pop.
I'm not. I'm mostly laughing. I'm just trying to think. I'm like,
look how red my face
your
is.
nose, out through your mouth.
I did a whole wheel thing. I said your name, and I went, here you go. You threw me nothing, and then I pitched the question again, and you're like, who are you talking to? And it's like, what?
This is why I'm just the tech guy, okay? All right, lob it up. Whoop.
All right, I don't even remember what it is anymore. Sylvie, I'm so
Benjamin,
grateful.
Listening and reacting in your everyday role play. It was something along those lines.
Sylvie, in what ways do you find yourself using listening and reacting to further your RP while you're in the city? Because you do it all the time when you're talking to your friends and listening to them and helping them out. In what ways is it helping and informing your role play?
Well, it's giving more to people. It's giving them something to play back on versus not having any sort of reaction. And even if you were in a crowded room and there's a lot going on, you could either choose to focus on one thing with everything still going on. You don't have to ignore it, but you pick something to react to versus reacting to everything. Or you could react to everything and just go into overload, like curl into the fetal position and be like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on right now, I cannot deal with this, can you guys just shut up?
Yes, big reactions, too much reaction, right? That's good. That's like uber reaction. They're listening to everything, so they're just so whatever. But you bring up a really good point about finding, especially in group scenes, typically I feel like people are just standing around, trying to be funny or whatever, trying to say the next funny comment. Zero in on something you like while it's there. It's like, man, there's this one particular car I really like, or this one particular person I really want to talk to while I'm here. Zero in on that and make your kind of day shifting around and listening in that way, and you'll get a lot more out of it. Arlo, what ways do you use listening and reacting to help inform your roleplay daily?
Oh, I mean, listening, I feel like is I feel like there's a lot more listening than reacting, at least for Arlo, because he gets he gets all these phone calls, people calling and asking for help or just to deliver information to him. So I feel like listening is a huge part of his. Reacting is usually asking someone else to go check something out or go he's directing. I guess you could say. Generating RP by handing it out to others,
by taking your information, reacting, and then giving it out to other people, right?
And then passing it forward. Yep.
Right. And just like Sylvie, when people give you information, oh, I'm having these issues, and you're not a lawyer in real life, I don't think, but you want to RP one, so you're like, oh, cool, this seems like free RP to me. Let's go, and you jump on it, right? And it takes people like you in the community to push RP forward like that. You're not a lawyer, are you?
No. My mom went to law school, and she works at a law firm. I've worked at law firms before, not in any capacity other than being a general secretary or in the fax room. But I've got people to call on and whatnot when I ask questions.
Now, a lot of it has to do with self-confidence, right? Now, obviously, Sylvie has some kind of foot in the realm of lawyerisms or whatever, so she probably understands terminology, so it makes her a lot easier to play that in her character, right? In what ways what kind of stuff do you have at home, people out there in the universe and chat land, what kind of stuff do you do in real life that you can help to inform your RP? Sylvie's a very like we talked earlier, you very good at introducing people, so you're really well known around the community. You're really good at getting in and out and talking to different people. What are some things you might struggle with, Sylvie, you think, because you are such a character, you are such a great person to bounce things off of? Do you struggle with anything RP wise, you think?
I do a lot. Sometimes it's trying to take in all the information that I'm getting. Sometimes it's a lot, and it's a lot to take in, and I want to try to help everyone, and I know I can't.
Right.
And that's just me coming through as I need to try and help everyone. And so at that point, I've got to, and it's been brought to my attention, not like directly, but I think through the ways that people have tried to steer me is that, yes, you cannot take on everything. You need to like focus on some things.
Right.
I'm pretty sure Sylvie's told Arlo that before.
Yes, shut up. I'm not good at taking my own advice.
Oh, that's good one. That's a good one too. I'm not good at taking my own advice either. It's funny because just
Mhm.
just the parallels between you and Arlo's characters are really interesting because you as humans both seem to be really kind, good humans that are looking out to be supportive people. So of course it's going to inform your role play, right? Um, 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 Arlo, same question, but I can't remember. I can't remember what I asked.
I can't even remember what is it. Rewind,
That's what
playback.
it was. Arlo, do you have anything about your role play that you feel like you could work on? I mean, obviously we all do. Is there anything open, anything you can think of that that you're trying to currently work on as a role player?
Currently working on being able to initiate conversation. I feel like a lot of times I'm really good at picking up in the middle of a conversation or ad-libbing off of other people, but I struggle sometimes with actually striking up a conversation, that comes from just me in real life. I'm the same way. I mean, for lack of a better term, I'm socially awkward. So you won't find me out, striking up conversations with people. So um, I am working on that. So that I would have to say that.
Working on initiating conversation, which can be a real tough one. Sylvie, you don't have that issue, I'm assuming, right?
I talk to everyone.
Right.
You half the time can't get me to shut up. So
Perfect. What are some ways that we can help? And guys, while we're discussing this one, I'd love to hear what kind of things you're working on for your role play in the chats below. We got about 10 more minutes here before we cut everything loose. What are some ways, Sylvie, that we can help Mr. Conniption and anybody out there who needs help with this on initiating conversations with people in the real world, but also in the role play world specifically?
well, I think struggling with it at the beginning because I'm like, these are people that I don't know. I'm never gonna meet. I have no idea who they are. I can't see their face like personally. That was a little bit of an issue. I'm like, I can't read their body language.
Right.
And that was a big thing. You start to learn their tones of voice and whatnot to pick up on those little nuances, and it gets a little easier once you realize that for the most part you're probably not going to meet these people ever again, except in the role play scenario. And it makes it a little easier to start talking to them and be someone else to them, and then take it from there. I mean, I have not a lot of problem talking to people in real life. Just being in marketing and sales and serving and whatnot, you have to get out there. You need to talk to people, or you're not going to make any money. So it's a little bit of an easier thing for me to bring that out. So
that's great. That's fantastic. What about as far as like when you run into people at the gas station, are you making conversations with these people? Are you saying hello? Are you like when you see somebody in city that you don't know, are you typically walking up to them and be like, hey, how's it going? Or how do you find yourself interacting with people?
the situation calls for it. I mean, sometimes if you're in the middle of a conversation, you're not going to break off that conversation. Or if you're in the middle of doing something with someone, you're not going to be like, hey, I don't know you, come over here. But
Right.
there is instances where you could be like, hey, you over here. What are you doing over here? What's going on? Like, did you see anything? Did you see this person? We're looking for this person, and bring them into it that way. Like, if there is something going on, question people. Like, one of the things I want to start doing with the law firm type thing is having a private investigator and having someone go out there and ask people questions and go, hey, have you seen this? Were you a part of this? Did you hear about this? Do you have any information? Not knowing who they are, but asking those questions.
Right. Mr. Conniption, when you walked up to somebody in the city, let's say initiation wise, I mean, it's probably easier in city, but in real life, what kind of, what are you thinking when you're going up to people? You're like, I do not want to talk to this person. Like, I don't know.
No, I wouldn't say that. I just don't know. I mean, I guess I treat it honestly the same way I do in the city, where hey, how you doing? And then if they give me something back, then I'll roll off of that.
Listening and reacting. I like it.
But I don't. I'm not one to go out there out in public and just be like, hey, what's up, man? What's going on? Like I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not that social, I guess.
Big gulps, huh?
Big gulps, yeah. What's your favorite flavor? Huh?
My husband just jumped into chat saying that I'm the same in real life. I just talk to everyone.
Talks to
And it's
everyone.
kind of true. I just strike up a conversation with the lady behind me in the grocery store lineup or whatever. I'll be like, hey, what's up? You getting bread
McCarthy,
today?
yeah, just for no reason. You're just the
Just
best
no
friend.
reason.
And Penny's sitting there, or McCarthy's just sitting there, like, can we just go? Like, do we have to talk to every person? Like, that you have to. Well, I just want to get there. I want them to have the information. You know, I want them to.
Exactly. Just a good experience.
Yeah, they drove through our hometown once 20 years ago. We have to be friends with them.
Exactly. Oh, they just don't get it. And then I totally did that to Dean. I totally did that to Dean. We were partying on the beach. I was like, hey, I'm Sylvie. I dance at the View. Here's my number.
She says, hi, I'm Sylvie. I dance with you. Here's my number. That's so kind. What a welcoming, warm, and business savvy. That's that marketing brain.
Totally.
That's that marketing brain. As far as listening and reacting goes, in that moment, Dean, I don't know if you can answer through whatever. Someone came up to you and gave you that, and how did you react to that? What was your reaction? Do you remember his reaction?
Well, I think I was dancing and his brother Alex had come in, and I said, yeah, I'm going through law school, whatever, I'm on the pole. And he's like, I'm gonna need your number. I'm like, okay, sure. And then he's like, you need to meet my brother. And then I ended up meeting his brother, and I was like, oh, hey, by the way, I met your brother. I dance at the View. Here you go. I don't really remember. Everyone was drunk, and we were all acting drunk.
So
if I know Dean, he probably thought he was being hit on.
Probably.
Just had a stripper give me her number.
Oh my god! Let's zero in on the stripper. Give me your number. No, let's zero in on the you guys. You were like, we were drunk. I mean, we were acting drunk, right? So that's a perfect example of reacting to the moment, right? If your character has been drinking and you're just running around like it's nothing, does the in-game character shift? Like, does it get blurry?
It does. It gets a little blurry, colory. Your avatar will like sometimes lean over. If you're really drunk, you just randomly fall everywhere.
Right,
it's kind of hilarious.
which gives you a chance to actually react in the moment or whatever. But
exactly.
even if you weren't drinking and you wanted to pretend to drink, you're still having to like react to the moment, which is my character's drunk. I'm gonna slur my speech a little bit. What are some other things you can do to show that you're intoxicated?
Oh, I start fights.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I'm toxic as shit.
No. Hammer will attest when Sylvie drinks, she starts fights and she starts picking at him and like, what about this? And oh my god. And
So you've allowed the reaction from the alcohol to change your perspective as a character. That's perfect. That's exactly what we're talking about here. What were you gonna say, Mr. Conniption?
I was just gonna say it would either get really, really quiet or maybe even go into like a tear in my beer situation.
There's a tear in my beer.
Because I'm crying for you, dear. Arlo doesn't drink very often, so when Arlo drinks, it's unexpected results.
Britt says fake drunk is so fun. McCarthy says actually drink while playing. That helps probably. Hammer
sweetheart.
Britt says B just gets stupid. I don't think I've ever drank in game before, so I don't know.
It's very difficult to see. It gets very difficult to see.
Well,
because the last time I saw Arlo drunk, we got stuck in the View in the DJ booth and had to sleep there.
So Silly, how did your listening and reacting shift after you started drinking? Because obviously now you're like, well, now I start fights. So in what ways are you informing that, right, with your actions? Are you like taking small things and being like, you know what, I'm going to overreact to this and start a fight?
Very much so. You get into that point where you overreact to something that's super small, and any regular person would be like, what the fuck is she doing?
Right.
But you're drunk, so everything is huge.
Yes, good. And And that's perfect for being drunk, right? Because it gives her a chance to be whatever. One thing you'll learn, and Sylvie can attest to this too, she's done a lot of theater stuff, is when you're on stage, like small little tiny whatevers don't sell as big to the back people in the back, besides big huge things. You can see in Sylvie's face, it's so animated, it's so like, you know what I mean? I bet she's great to have a conversation with because her face just lights up in every direction that you're talking, right? Try to be that kind of role player. Try to stand on your feet and listen to the person in front of you, and don't think about what narrative you want to do, like, and control the situation and what way can I get the most out of it. Just listen to Sylvie talk and react in kind to what she's doing, and you'll find 10 minutes later you'll be having the most fun role play that you've ever had, just from talking and listening to somebody, not going and doing or making the thing that you want to happen. Just sitting there listening to Sylvie and having her react with those faces. Look at those faces. Look at it. They're all over the place. Mr. Conniption, reactions. There we go. See? No reaction, big reactions.
I gave a facial reaction.
and in role play, you got to think of it like that too. You're doing it for the people in the back, right? If you're crying, no one can hear you unless you're holding the button. So give them a little something, Mr. Conniption, can you give me, and let's we'll end it with this reaction wise, because this is a good tip. Can you give me, if 1 being little and 10 being big, can you give me a little cry?
A little cry?
Yeah, like you're a number 1. You're not really that sad. Your dog died. Sylvie, you can do the same. We're gonna all express it with our face. This is a number 1. Our dog died. All right. That's a number 1. Now I want a number 10, because it's the worst possible, right? 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh my god!
Give me a 1.
This is awful.
All right, give me a 5.
This is horrible. I can't deal with this.
They just got your cheeseburger order wrong, and they added pickles, and you're super mad about it. You're a 1.
Oh god, could you please take these pickles off?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of
We don't
pickles.
care for them.
I don't care. You're a 10.
Oh my God, can you take these pickles off this bloody burger now, or I am gonna call management, and they're gonna come down here, and they're gonna be so pissed off at you.
I'm gonna shove these pickles in your ass.
Whoa! All right. Good job. Holy mo, Mr. Conniption. Jesus on those pickles. But that's what we're talking about. That's the kind of reacting that you can do, right? You were listening. Hey, we got your pickles wrong. You were listening by seeing pickles wrong. You're reacting in kind. The first one was not too mad about these pickles. The 10 was outrageously going overboard with it, right? Shoving pickles up your
Shoving pickles up orifices.
orifices. The fun
I love
thing
it.
with us as role players and as actors and performers, because if you're on here and you're role playing, baby, I got a secret for you. You're an actor. You're a voice actor. You're a performer. You're all those things. You may not realize it yet, but you are. So how you react into those moments in the city are going to get you a lot more RP. They're going to get you a lot more out of pretty much life in general. So think about that when you're out there. Emotions, meaning reactions, can be 1s or they can be 10s all the way. Let's try a number 1. Sylvie, you just won the lottery.
Okay, I'm good. Let's go.
All right, you're number 5.
What am I reacting to?
You won the lottery.
You just won the lottery. It's a 10. React to a 10.
I'm never going to work again. I'm going to Disney World, Mom.
We're going to Disney World. I love it. That's an easy way to look at it when you're out there. You can help with your reactions and things like that when you are in particular scenes. If you find yourself in a scene where you're overreacting a little bit, getting pissed off at the cops for real, maybe turn your little thing down a little bit and be like, maybe I should draw this back to like a 2 so I'm not being rude to these people. Sylvie, is there anything else you can think of listening and reacting wise that you use, or any kind of tips or anything like that you can use, people can use to inform their own role play?
Tips for reaction wise?
Yeah, tips for reaction. listening?
Draw from your own life. Draw from things you've seen on TV. Draw from things you've seen anywhere, really. One of the things that I pride myself on is really going to town on crying, and I can do that, and I love
Very
it
well.
very well. To the point where sometimes it makes people uncomfortable, and that's my main point, to make people uncomfortable.
It's an atmosphere shift.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, all from your reactions. That's great. That's great to know. I'll make sure and not be around you when you cry. That's key though. Don't be embarrassed to use your real emotions in real life to inform your stuff. That's great. That's great knowledge. Mr. Conniption, can you think of anything listening and reacting wise, or anything about Sylvie here that you can think of that you want to bring up?
I would just really like to brag on her in general. Sylvie was one of the first people that I got really involved with in RP, and I learned a lot from Sylvie, particularly when it comes to listening and reacting. I always enjoyed our conversations, and but I definitely learned a lot from you, Sylvie.
Thank you. You can't tell. I'm red already, but I'm really blushing.
That's a lot of people have that same reaction about you, Sylvie. So we're very grateful that you're here. We're very grateful to have you in the community, doing what you're doing, how you're doing it, supporting people in the way that you're supporting them. You make others feel great about their role play. You make them feel confident in themselves, and you can't buy that. You can't go to the store and buy the confidence and stuff that another player can give you just by existing, and you do that for a lot of different people. So we really do appreciate you around here. What?
It's called liquor.
Liquor?
Liquid courage.
Not 2 words. Not 2 words. Okay, we're good.
Got it. Frostbite says Sylvie's RP is top-notch stuff. Love interacting with her. It's never boring. Yes. Give us all the compliments on our way out here. I want to read all these juicy little compliments about Sylvie. We'll just tell her how amazing she is.
Let's see how red we can make her.
Let's see how red we can make her. I do really mean those things. We're very grateful to have you here, friend. And a lot of people have the exact same thing and feelings about you as Mr. Conniption does here. And that means a lot. It's a small group right now.
For real. Stop it.
See, look at her using those emotions. Just let it pour out of her face. Oh, my God.
Oh, Lordy me.
Hammer Gaming says, she's okay.
She's okay.
See, a big reaction. I made it even cooler.
He's okay. He could go shove it.
Britt says, Sam, don't cry.
Shove those pickles up your ass.
Exactly.
That's all anybody's going to get from this whole thing is
shoving pickles up asses. So can our cover photo be like a pickle? Because that would be.
Yes, let's do this.
And an ass, and the eyeballs in the ass are like looking at the pickles, like very scared. See what you guys did. You're bringing she makes a nice comfort zone on a scene, makes you feel comfortable, which is so big. People don't realize that feeling comfortable in a scene is a super important thing.
Unless it's in the jail cells.
Yeah.
Are you not comfortable in the jail cells?
I'm comfortable, but she's trying to make me trip up.
Yeah.
How so? I'm so curious.
Oh, Sylvie flirts. Sylvie flirts relentlessly with all the police officers to try and make them trip up.
Oh man,
that's Sylvie lovingly coined the term.
All of my secrets.
Yeah, Sylvie lovingly coined the term "silver fox" for Arlo. Yes. So that rears its head every once in a while.
Wooey says G is gonna steal Sylvie from Hammer. Hammer says, just kidding, she's amazing, awesome, and I love role playing with her every night. I have a really cool scene between you guys. There's like a chase. I'll release it eventually. You guys are at the top of the thing. Hammer got emotional. It was super great role play.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that one.
Right? Yeah. Jim says she makes a nice comfort zone on a scene, makes you feel comfortable. Got that one. The pickle fist. All right, I'm gonna stop reading that. I despise her as legal counsel. That's the only negative.
Love you, G.
You're so good at it. You're so good at it. Shady says, I believe I'm due to get another roll of duct tape soon.
Yes.
Not even gonna.
I need more duct tape. Oh, my ducky, my duct tape friends.
What? 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 Mr. Conniption, is there any kind of housekeeping things or anything we need to do before we let old Sylvie back here into the wild?
That's safe. Letting me back out into the wild.
Like a Pokemon.
Exactly.
Not that I can think of.
Pikachu. Sylvie, do you have any social media or anything that you'd like to plug?
Oh yeah, there's that.
Follow my husband.
Yes. Somebody find. Let me. We can't
right.
leave until I make this post. I'm gonna post.
I got it.
I got my
I got it.
in-game husband and my IRL husband. So
You post it. I guess just the in real just the in real life one. You said you're posting it, Mr. Conniption.
I'm sorry, I'm searching presently. What was the question?
You search presently. I'll tell Miss Sylvie how awesome they are. Real quick, your actual name is Sam.
Yeah.
We talked earlier about which one you wanted to go by. Oh man, now I forgot what I was gonna say to you. It was so good. Oh, my very first conversation with you as a human being and as a role player was in Cities Ruby. I did one night as bartending at the VU when
yes.
and I got to have a conversation with you, and I very much instantly understood that this person gets like how to have a discussion and world build at the same time. There was so much. Every time I would say something, I'd add a little something. You would hear it, return a little, and then you would give back to me. And we just went back and forth with each other, world building for our characters at the same time for like 10 minutes. It was
Great. It was
perfect.
Wonderful. And you still make the best, what was it, margarita that I have ever had.
Yeah, it's perfect. We decided that day that Sylvie is Canada's favorite escort, or not? No, that's not what it is. Sylvie is Canada's best export.
Export, not escort. Not escort.
Sylvie is Canada's best export, not best escort. I don't know, Sylvie at the VU, how that works.
I was probably working there at the time, but it wasn't. No, I wasn't working there at the time.
I think it was, yeah. I think it was before. Either way, I knew right then and there. I'm like, oh, this person really gets it, and so I really appreciate that. And when I see you and I think about you out in the world, I know you're doing that with every single person you meet, which is just infecting more people with all this great role play. And to me, that's like, that's what we need here. That's what we need here, baby. Mr. Conniption, you posted it?
You're seeing things. Yes, it's there. Woohoo! A Canadian escort.
All right. Canada's greatest export is its people, and Sylvie is its people. So, what a great God, I almost said escort again. I'm sorry.
Well, G's got it going up in chat, so that's it. I'm now an escort. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I can't wait to go back and watch this and watch your reactions. I'm such a big reaction fan, so it's going to be really entertaining. Thank you so much for your time today. Thanks for breaking down your role play processes, being really open about the things that you're working on as a role player, your whole process going in and sharing about listening and reacting. Mr. Conniption, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I heard you breathe. I'm sorry. When I hear breathing, I'm like, Mr. Conniption's got something to say, baby. I can speak for both us. Yes. I can speak for both Mr. Heavy Breathing, Mr. Conniption over here, and myself. We're very, very grateful that you came in here and did a little Let's Talk Roleplay with us. So thank you so much for your time tonight, dude.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sylvie.
I had a good time. You're welcome, Marlo.
Real quick, as we go, we say bye to everybody in chat. Thank you so much, everybody, for the likes and the comments tonight. You're a big part of this and this roleplay discussion. We're working on the process of it. We're 3 weeks in. 6 months from now, it'll be a whole nother show. So I'm really, really excited to see it develop over time and that you guys are here. Again, go check out McCarthy. There's a link right there so you can support McCarthy and his RP. And you can probably see some Sylvie in there, maybe sometimes. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. Follow here or subscribe here to get more Mr. Conniption. He streams here like 5 days a week. Awesome, incredible role player. Very awesome, talkative person, as you can plainly see right here.
I let the face do the talking.
Your face has as much emotion as Matney and Hammer's voice. Really.
It's about right. There's that like, there's like a steady tone.
You're just not
Uh,
looking close enough. It's right under your nose.
Thank you so much, everybody, for saying the nice things. Let's get out of here. You loved Sylvie. Bye. Bye, Mr. Conniption. Bye. Bye. I can't tell if it's ending or not.
Should I leave it going, chat?
But my hands are getting tired, Mr. Conniption. Is it still going?
Bye.